Nice to meet you, Siri. Zinho, you're full of surprises.
Siri says she doesn't understand. Yeah, this is just, man, it's kind of awkward.
Yeah, I get that. It's like having two friends at a party who aren't mingling.
So is it really the Thousand Suns that are your favorite Chaos Space Marine chapter?
The Thousand Suns lore and unique approach to warfare are hard to beat.
What the fuck was that? Watch enough sci-fi movies or read enough books and they will always tell you one thing. Don't fall in love with the AI companion. But guess what? It's 2025, which means everyone should be falling in love with their AI companions. Just like in the movie where ScarJo and Joaquin Phoenix hit it off in the most unlikely romance story that I chanced upon when I was 15 years old. You cannot avoid the attraction of artificial intelligence. Well, technically we had a Japanese dude marry his video game wife back in 2009, but that's besides the point. Today, it's about Apple Intelligence versus Copilot, two similar but vastly different AI software, and we're hyper-focused on the computer experience with Apple Intelligence on the Mac and Copilot on Windows PCs. It's, hey Siri, and we gotta hit the dedicated Copilot button on your laptop, like right here.
I found this on the web for the Mac users. And we gotta hit the dedicated button on your laptop.
You can get a rough idea of how this is gonna go. I don't think you need their backstories, but I'm gonna give you a quick rundown on what they are and how useful they'll be in the coming year. The digital assistant, Siri, was birthed by the geniuses over at Apple in California on October 4th, 2011. Technically no one's communications, but that's a whole other story. And it was released alongside iOS 5 and the iPhone 4. We all know and love Siri because she comes with support for so many languages. Of course, like most good things, it was a little, if not a lot jankier at the start. With close to 14 years of updates, it's been a great ride so far. And on June 10th, 2024, Apple introduced Apple Intelligence, a smarter, more task-oriented assistant available on the iPhone, iPad, and more importantly, a key feature on Apple's Mac machines. Since last October, the new Apple Intelligence, which, surprise, also shares the same AI acronym as artificial intelligence, rolled out across Apple's library of hardware devices, including older Mac machines, thereby combining Siri and Apple Intelligence, and while introducing a plethora of features for all the devices from handhelds to desktops. On the other hand, there is Microsoft Copilot, the successor to the lovely virtual assistant Cortana. And it's such a shame that we've lost such an iconic name. Cortana was released back in 2014, and Copilot, which was released on February 7th, 2023, replaces Cortana. It uses the Microsoft Prometheus model, which uses OpenAI's GPT-4 foundational large language model. It was initially parked under Microsoft Bing and Edge, but then the folks at Microsoft realized what they've got on their hands, and bam, you've got Copilot as your AI assistant that's kind of like ChatGPT, but not really. These dedicated Copilot keys on your Windows machines started popping up around 2024, and we're here now. Theoretically, Microsoft will be much further ahead than Apple on paper since they've had that 1 year of lead time, but it was designed for new machines moving forward. So if you bought a Windows machine even as late as 2024, there's a chance it doesn't come with the dedicated Copilot button. On the other hand, Apple Intelligence's minimum requirement for Mac is the M1 chip, which means any Mac released from 2020 or the last 5 years can tap onto Apple Intelligence, which is far better than what Microsoft and its hardware partners are offering users. It seems that the devil works hard, but Apple Intelligence's team works even harder. Holy crap. So while it may not be the first AI on a laptop or desktop, Apple has defined the whole local military saying, slow is fast, fast is slow. And that makes sense, trust me, it really does. Let me just list out the Apple Intelligence features for you to get a clearer picture, and we'll run some comparisons later on. All of these features are available when you've upgraded your devices to macOS Sequoia 15.2, as well as iOS 18.2 and iPadOS 18.2 for your iPhone and iPad. So you've got Genmoji 1, Image Playground, Image 1 in the Apple Pencil tool palette, writing tools, clean up in Photos, create a memory movie in Photos, natural language search in Photos, notification summaries, reduce interruptions, focus, intelligence breakthrough and silencing in Focus, priority message in Mail, smart reply in Mail and Messages, summaries in Mail and Messages, Siri enhancements including product knowledge, more resilient request handling, a new look and feel, a more natural voice, the ability to type to Siri, and more. ChatGPT integration within Siri, and writing tools. And yeah, I think that's it for now. Copilot, on the other hand, is a lot more with different packages, and it's very important to know which package you're getting and what's inside of it before you pay for it. And there are quite a few. On the free end, there's Copilot that's free with every Windows 11 system, and by extension, Copilot in Bing. Paid stuff will be Copilot Security for security professionals to interpret signals by security monitoring tools. There's GitHub Copilot for developers to help write boilerplate code. I have no idea what that means. Copilot Pro that includes assistance in Office apps like Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, and of course more. And lastly, Copilot Microsoft 365 for all Office apps, and it can be used to interpret business data. There's a bit of an overlap between Pro and Microsoft 365, so in order to differentiate the two, Copilot is for individuals while 365 is meant for larger organizations. We'll be focusing on the free version since that's what many of you watching would definitely have. The features for Microsoft Copilot are, actually for being a year ahead of Apple, there really are a lot. I have no idea where to start, so naturally I asked Copilot and it pointed towards these features. Answering questions, creative writing, research assistance, coding support, generating images, language translation, summarizing content, conversational engagement, and providing recommendations. I asked it again for free features and it narrowed them down to these: AI assistance, cross-platform availability, image generation, GPT-4 access, free plugins and GPTs, and the notebook feature. From the list, you can probably tell that of course Microsoft focuses on creating the different packages and curates and names them to be extremely productivity focused, which Apple's somewhat softer naming convention does make it feel somewhat more compelling to try things out, so Apple edges out in the mental game. What's similar between the two systems is that there are so many tools for everyone on both sides. We have the Apple MacBook Air 15 M3 and the ASUS Zenbook S14. Let's do a small test to see how they both fare when facing the same commands, but before that, here's a message from our friends at Secretlab. Here at Geek Culture, Secretlab is our everyday ergonomic buddy. Whether we're working, playing, or taking a quick nap, we feel less aches and more refreshed, even after sitting for long hours. Secretlab provides ergonomic support literally from head to toe, from dynamic lumbar support to their proprietary medium foam cushioning, and even premium footrests that promote circulation. That's good for you. For more information, check out secretlab.co. Alright, so let's start with Copilot real quick. Go voice activated mode for Copilot.
Hey Zinho, got something on your mind this evening? I'm all ears.
Hey, can you turn on dark mode?
I can't control devices or apps, but I'm here to chat or help with questions.
So that kind of sucks that you can't do that on command. However, on the Mac side, you definitely can do that. Hey Siri, turn on dark mode. Oh, it doesn't talk back. Okay. Hey Siri, turn off dark mode. You see, it does that automatically when you say it, which is still cool. Hey Siri, no.
Okay, it's now on.
Oh, thanks. Okay. Hey Siri, turn on dark mode. Hey Siri, turn off dark mode. Nice. So on a baseline, when it comes to command stuff, you can see that, with Copilot, they'll tell you what you can do and what you can't do. But the thing is, they can't really enact the changes that you want. But with Siri, you can actually do that. Let's try one more thing. Hey Siri, open Safari. And it does that, yeah, exactly. All right, so Siri stuff and Copilot stuff aside, let's try to get them to talk to each other.
Hey Zinho, how can I dazzle you this evening?
Hey Siri, this is Copilot, and Copilot, this is Siri.
Nice to meet you, Siri. Zinho, you're full of surprises. What's next?
Siri says she doesn't understand. Hey Siri, this is Copilot, and Copilot, this is Siri. Okay, Siri is definitely replying, but for some reason, I think because we have OBS turned on, then there's a bit of conflict between the two programs for some reason. Copilot doesn't really have an issue with that, so that's something to take note of, I believe. Hi, say hi to Siri for me.
Hey Siri, Zinho sends their regards.
I don't think they're allowed to talk to each other for some reason. Copilot does more of the talking, obviously, but yeah, this is just, man, it's kind of awkward.
Yeah, I get that. It's like having two friends at a party who aren't mingling. But hey,
Continue? All right, so that's about it. As you can see, they don't really work well together. They don't really sound well together. So let's just move on to image generation. Let's try out image generation on both devices. We'll start off with Image Playground on the Mac. So let's go for a beholder from Dungeons and Dragons and see how well that pans out. Oh, that's not super accurate. Okay, it's getting more of the Dungeons and Dragons part, but the thing is, I think it's missing the point that it's not a beholder. Let's make it simple. Cat on a skateboard. Okay, I mean, that's cute. Yep. Skateboard does look like a skateboard, I guess. Kind of weird though, but alright. That's missing a wheel, but that's okay. That's alright. Yeah, let's see what else you got. Different styles. You got illustration. That's alright. Okay, it's the same cat but different board. Okay, I mean, not exactly the same cat, but yeah. Right now we're going to be working with paint on the Zenbook. Go to image creator and let's see if you plant. Oh wait, I have to buy stuff. Oh no, we need a subscription for that. Copilot.
Hey Zeno, how can I dazzle you this evening?
How do I generate images on my Zenbook?
On your Zenbook, try using apps like GIMP or Photoshop. They're powerful for creating designs and editing images. Ready to get creative?
Okay, so that means you still gotta get third-party apps. It's not anything like Image Playground. It's telling me that Copilot can't exactly generate images. Okay, wait, this is free thing on Bing. Creating, alright, cool. Images are currently in process. Premium thingy over here. Alright, and let's just check back in, and these are the images we got, and kind of cross-referencing over to the Apple stuff. Obviously, at the end of the day, I would still rather try to draw these out myself. Alright, so these are the results we have down here. Let me just bring this back from illustration to animation. Over here, this is pretty much the closest. Okay, so image playground wise, I mean, these look okay, but because we selected the animation style, they're going to look animated. They're going to look like they're cartoon characters. So let's switch back to illustration, and these are a lot closer to what I have in mind. And as you can see, they look pretty good, I'd say, especially with the clean background and everything. Things are easier to remove and use them for stickers and for posters and whatever. And on this end, with the Microsoft Bing image generator, which technically is kind of Copilot-y as well, but they're pretty much interchangeable. I guess. These are really just images of cats on a skateboard, and just like the animated ones, I think they're kind of a cross between illustration and animation from like an image playground kind of sense. And they look okay, but of course, going out and taking a picture of a cat on an actual skateboard would still be better than this. Let's just try this out one more time. Creating more images. Let's go. This image creator isn't something on the PC. You still have to open up your browser and search up for Microsoft Bing image creator. So that's a point to image playground, because this is native to the MacBook. Because with the update, this is already on the MacBook. Compared to the Windows PC over here, obviously the point goes over to Apple because it's a lot more easily accessible over here. Plus, there isn't a limit compared to the Microsoft image creator. Even though my prompts are as such, they've added even more things. So now the cat here, it has a helmet and goggles, sunglasses, explorer type thing over here in school for some reason, and Christmas cat on the skateboard. So that's great. Right, let's move on to other things. Alright, next up I'm going to get Siri and Copilot to summarize an article from our websites. Let me just get these up real quick. Oh, nice. That's cool. So what's happening right now is that because I'm typing it on Siri, it's asking whether they can send the screenshot over. I didn't take the screenshot. Siri screenshotted it itself. So that's still kind of cool. Let's just press send. We'll try out the entire review later on. It's working with ChatGPT right now. I forgot you need to put this in notes, so let's just open up a brand new note. Alright, I think that's enough of the article to get started. So we do have a lot of stuff to work with over here. So this is a lot from the article already, and I think it's enough for, you know, Apple Intelligence to work its magic. So let's see what we can do here. There are a couple of options. We can describe our changes, we can proofread, we can rewrite, we can, you know, change the tones up from friendly, professional, and concise. You can also put everything in the summary, key points, list, and table. And let's just see. Let's do summary real quick of everything and see how well this does. And wow, that's actually pretty quick. Damn. Okay. All right. Secretlab's Titan Evo. All right, and honestly, that looks pretty good. That really does sum up everything in the article, like off the bat. While the chair is comfortable and durable, potential buyers should consider its high price and limited size options. That's great. Okay, so let's delete that off. I think that was damn quick and pretty damn good too. Let's try something a bit unorthodox. Let's go for table and see if that works out with it. Yep, use ChatGPT. A table of the chair's features. Let's go with that. Oh, okay. Wow, the table actually works out. Holy crap. Okay, it tables out all the features. That's interesting. Wow, look at that. All right, key points time. Let's do that. Yes, the points are coming out. That's great. Let's bring that all out. It really does nail down all the points that were brought up during the article. So I think, yep, you got a lot of options and a lot of things to work with. Honestly, as a writer, this helps out a lot. Obviously, people can tell when you use, you know, ChatGPT for your work. So, you know, if you can, keep it as natural as possible. Use these tools as tools and not as a means, you know, to create. But this is great. Wow. Okay. All right. We're gonna change everything to a friendlier tone. Yes, it does sound a bit more forgiving, a bit friendlier, less direct, I'd say. Let's move on to Copilot for this. We're going to be using the same article and we're going to be putting it into Copilot and see if we can summarize it. Let me just ask Copilot real quick.
Hey Zinho, good afternoon. What's on your mind today?
Afternoon. How do I summarize things with Copilot?
Just start by sharing what you want summarized, and I'll help break it down for you. Want to give it a try?
Alright, so the summary, that's actually a lot faster than the one with the Notes app. And honestly, it's nailed down everything that's been written. That's great, but the thing is there wasn't any kind of options. So even though the options don't pop up, you know, at least you can tell it to do it and it will do exactly what you've asked of it. Alright, so for the summary with Copilot, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. And for notes, it looks like we have just kind of like what, 1 or 2 paragraphs thereabouts. But obviously, you know, it's not super detailed. It is a proper summary in the sense. For this one, it really nails down all the points, but it's a bit more descriptive. It does fit the point of a summary, but let me see if I can shorten it. So out of the 5 paragraphs, it's narrowed down to 2, and there's everything over there. And even though the Notes app one is much shorter, this has more details. So let's try out other things, shall we? Can I speak to you while using OBS?
OBS hasn't added support for that with Siri.
Okay, I'm not sure it's getting my question right, but whatever. But so far it seems that way. What is the best loyalist chapter in Warhammer 40k?
Okay, I found this on the web for what is the best loyalist chapter in Warhammer 40k.
Okay, so
check it out.
Okay, so we do have a whole range of stuff here. And basically it is inputting online, so these are the results that we're getting right now. Let's try out Copilot real quick.
Hey Zinho, how can I dazzle you this afternoon?
Hey Copilot, what is the best loyalist chapter in Warhammer 40k?
I'd say the Ultramarines. They're iconic, balanced in warfare, and have a deep, rich lore.
That is disgusting. So what is your favorite legion in Warhammer 40k?
I'd go for the Salamanders. They're known for their strong sense of duty, care for civilians, and their unique affinity for crafting and flame-based weaponry. They're the good guys with a fiery twist.
That's a pretty good answer.
Glad you think so. The Salamanders do stand out.
That's kind of scary if you think about it.
Yeah, the concept of superhuman warriors wielding flame weapons can be pretty intense. That's 4K for you, epic and a bit terrifying.
Okay, a little bit rough around the edges, but I think that was great. What the hell? What is your favorite Chaos Space Marine chapter?
I'd pick the Thousand Suns. Their tragic fall from loyalist space marines to chaos-worshipping sorcerers is fascinating, and their focus on psychic powers makes them unique among the Chaos Legions.
Did Magnus do anything wrong?
Magnus the Red is a complex character. He tried to warn the Emperor of Horus's betrayal, but in doing so, inadvertently caused the destruction of his homeworld Prospero. He believed his actions were for the greater good, but they had catastrophic consequences.
So are you a fan of Magnus or no?
I'd say Magnus is intriguing. His story is full of ambition, tragedy, and complex choices, making him a compelling figure in the Warhammer universe.
So as we've heard, it does draw a lot from the vast database that is the internet, but man, that is interesting to see how well it can pick out stuff on its own. Obviously, you know, the writers or something like that, the developers have their own biases and everything. I'm not sure if there are any 40k fans on that team, but I'm guessing so, yes. But even then, it shows pretty safe answers and pretty good answers actually. But let's see if his opinion changes if I ask the same question.
Magnus is a compelling character, huh? What do you find most interesting about his story?
Oh nice, they got follow-ups and everything, that's cool. What is your favorite Loyalist chapter?
The Space Wolves are top tier for me. Their combination of ferocity, Viking-inspired culture, and disregard for strict adherence to the Codex Astartes makes them stand out.
So it's not the Ultramarines?
Nope. While the Ultramarines are iconic and exemplify the ideal Space Marine, I lean more towards the unique, rugged charm of the Space Wolves.
What's your favorite Chaos Space Marine chapter?
Thousand Suns, hands down. Their tragic tale and mastery of psychic powers make them fascinating.
So is it really the Thousand Suns that are your favorite Chaos Space Marine chapter?
Absolutely, they're my top pick. The Thousand Suns lore and unique approach to warfare are hard to beat.
What the fuck was that? Why did you laugh?
Just caught up in the excitement. Warhammer can bring out the inner fan in me. What about you? Any favorite factions?
That's crazy, dude. Why do you tell me that you like the Ultramarines first and then the Space Wolves?
Just to keep things interesting. Each chapter has its own unique flavor, and the Ultramarines and Space Wolves are classics. It's fun to explore different loyalties in the Warhammer universe.
But you said your favorite Space Marine chapter, on the Loyalist side at least, were the Ultramarines, and then you changed it to the Space Wolves, so why is that?
Just enjoying the depths of the lore. Bot mode off. But really, it's tough to choose with so many compelling chapters out there. If I had to pick, the Ultramarines' discipline and the Space Wolves' ferocity both have strong appeals. What's your favorite?
You know, if you want to have a bit more fun, you can have more fun with Copilot if you want something more straight to the point. But of course, Apple Intelligence isn't just Siri, it's a plethora of features and everything. But when it comes to, like, you know, the voice or AI companions that you have on your PCs, Copilot is a lot more fun. So final thoughts wise, I think we have everything, but I'm gonna let Copilot speak for me for this last bit. Hey Copilot.
Like I've got the conversational edge, Zinyo. What's next?
Yeah, could you narrate what I just sent you?
Sure thing. From our little test, it's clear that talking with Copilot is more enjoying than with Siri. Still, Apple Intelligence...
So it did change up quite a bit of stuff. Could you narrate what I sent you without changing a thing?
Of course, Zinyo. Here's the narration. The user's name is Zinyo. The time is Thursday, 23rd of...
Yo, could you read out everything I just sent you?
Sorry, I can't do that.
That's great. Let's just get Siri to do it instead.
I think from our little test, we can safely say that I have a much better time talking with Copilot than I do with Siri. But Apple Intelligence's tools are all readily available on the MacBook, our iPad, our iPhone. Whether it's the Apple Intelligence tools in the Notes app, or the ChatGPT integration with Siri. Though Copilot may be lacking in some areas, it sure can be quite the conversationalist capable of giving its own opinions. It even laughed at one point, which is scarily intriguing.
Are hard to beat.
Though it did swap camps when it came to its favorite loyalist legion. And God, all of them are unique in their own ways, and it's hard to choose blah blah. It gave great answers to its favorite Chaos Space Marine Legion, though it couldn't answer if Magnus did anything wrong. And the answer should always be yes, fight me in the comments. The winner for this little competition would be Copilot for me, because not only is it friendly to Siri, you can actually have more fluid conversations and get your answers at the same time. Apple Intelligence has a lot to offer on its end, yes. But if we're talking about accessibility, to I for your average Joe I would still go with Copilot.
AI.
Bear in mind that AI in all forms is a tool that should be used to supplement and make your workflow and life easier. Let me know in the comments if you enjoy using them in your day-to-day. If you enjoyed this video, maybe follow us on all of our socials right here to get updates with everything that we do. We publish stuff out in daily, and if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe to us. It goes a long way in keeping the lights and me on here. This has been Siri. And if you want to see more stuff, check this out. Do you want to hear the next note?
Could you repeat that?
Do you want to hear the next note?
Could you repeat the last note?
Do you want to hear the next note?
Could you repeat the first note?
Do you want to hear the next note?
No, could you repeat the first note?
Do you want to hear the next note?